The following video is brought to you by the guys at the Wrecking and Racing Podcast, a NASCAR podcast made by the fans for the fans. Check them out at www.wreckingandracing.com, facebook.com/wreckingandracing, and Twitter at Wrecking and Racing. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season, the 2019 mod, and we are at Daytona night for our third plate race of the year. Always exciting and always a big question mark in the grand scheme of things on how we are going to finish, but we qualified mid-pack here. Kevin Harvick is on the pole, and a few rows back in the bottom line is Brandon in that wreckingandracing.com Toyota. We're lined up for 18 wonderful laps here at Daytona. We will have to pit, so, pit stops and getting down to the yellow line will be tricky indeed if we come in one big pack. Pace car is about ready to duck off. We'll take the green flag here and see if we can work our way up to the front. Always enjoy the plate tracks, always pushing hard and always exciting, so let's see what happens here on the start. Green flag is out. We'll follow Landon Castle through. See if we can give him a little push here. All right, looking to the inside, 3 wide. There's Brandon looking 3 wide as well under that Richard Childress car. We're under the 34 of Michael McDowell. Everyone getting up to speed here. Nice, clean start. And we'll be on the bottom making up spots. This is the easiest time to make up spots while we're here on the bottom. We can't drop below that yellow line though, so we will follow Chase Elliott through and give him a push. Brandon right there on our back bumper as well. And this is where the accordion effect really starts kicking in. Drivers laying into each other, not giving an inch, and you can see they're really loose up there. Already cars on the bottom. Kyle Larson down there trying to get Joey Logano loose. They save it. All right, let's follow Chase. Oh, they're into it. Blaney around. We're around. Looks like Brandon might be around as well, but we're in the grass. We'll get it spun down and out of the way and out of harm's way. It looks like a lot of cars involved in this one, but we got away relatively clean, and I believe Brandon did as well. So we took the yellow, thankfully, sliding through the tri-oval there. We took the yellow. So 4 tires and maybe fuel if we can stretch it to the end, but I will be right back. Coming down pit road, this will put us within our window, so we're pitting with most of the damaged cars as well. We'll go ahead and get 4 tires here while we're under caution and repair whatever damage may have been caused. Brandon will do the same. He had a little bit of scuff on his right side. All right, left side's going on. There goes the 8 of Hemrick, the 21 of Menard, and oh, Hemrick gets collected a bit by those cars there. All right, so away we go. Give Ty Dillon some space here. Ty Dillon will make that pass on the outside, and we will see where we line up here. So I will be right back. Pace car is off. We're right behind Ty Dillon, still mid-pack. Green flag is out. And now that the cars are single file, we might be able to pick and choose our line a little bit better. But as you can see, they're fanning out too wide already, not resting on their laurels. And there is Daniel Hemrick up top with a very busted rear deck lid from that pit road incident. Looks, oh crap, Ricky Stenhouse. He's doing a Stenhouse. Here comes the 32 up the hill. Stenhouse spins out Landon Castle as well. We're going low. Oh crap, get down, get down. Oh, and flipping. The 32 is over on his lid, and that looked pretty vicious. The yellow flag is back out. Thank you, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Typical Ricky in this race, I have to say, but we will not be pitting anymore. We're clear on the damage, so yeah, we're just going to ride until the green, so I will see you then. Fuel calculations were a little off during that race. We were going to be a few laps short, so we're going to come in and just top off of fuel. I don't think we're going to be taking any tires. We're just going to be in and out here. Fuel going in. There goes the 95 around, and we're clear. Oh, here's Boyer trying to get in his box. We're just going to force our way through and make up all of these passes. So those guys are taking tires. Looks like we are going to come off in fourth. Oh, and big hit for Harvick and Chris Buescher at the end of pit road as well. That was chaotic, but gained us a healthy amount of track position, and we are set for the finish. So I will see you for the green. Pace car is off, coming back to green, and we have a very damaged Eric Jones right in front of us running in third. Green flag is in the air. Let's see if we can get the drop on him here going into the first turn. He looks under Joey Logano. I don't know if he's going to be fast enough, but Michael McDowell is leading this race. Not unheard of for smaller teams to make a charge here on these plate tracks, especially when a lot of drivers get taken out in an early crash. It gives these smaller teams time to shine, and if he was to win this race and make it into the championship, that would be something indeed. But Joey Logano fights back. He is also winless this year, trying to solidify his place in the championship. Brandon looking to the inside of Kevin Harvick, pushes us 3 wide up top. We've got Eric Jones behind us, and here comes Kurt Busch down there on the bottom. And it looks like a bit of a breakaway here. All these cars are, separating. We have about a 3 or 4 car length gap back there to the cars behind us. If we can get back in line and figure this out, that would be beneficial to us all. Back 3 wide again, Brandon. Oh, almost lost it there, getting into the safer barrier just a touch, but Brandon is charging on that bottom with the car that looks a lot like his, Kurt Busch, giving him a push down the back straightaway. Larson and Newman have caught us, and Larson looking to that inside. He's got a fender on us. We'll have to concede that line and go to the middle, follow Ty Dillon here. Kurt Busch gets shuffled out to the outside. Eric Jones is actually holding on fairly well considering all that rear end damage. Same thing for Ty Dillon. 3 wide with Martin Truex Jr. forcing us down to the bottom. Kyle Busch looking to take the lead. And if there's one driver that needs a win, it is Kyle Busch. He is on the outside of the top 20 looking in right now, and he needs a win to really take the pressure off. He's been running well, but Joey Logano with the quick switch goes to the inside, followed by Kurt Busch pushing Joey Logano. We've got Keselowski pushing Larson. We've got Jimmy Johnson pushing us. Ty Dillon hanging on the outside. Kevin Harvick pushing Jimmy Johnson. This is plate racing in its normal habitat. Anything can happen, and the big crash is always just a lap away. 3 wide behind us, really fighting and gouging. I'll get up and push Brandon, see if we can start working this high lane and start getting some speed up. We're 4 wide now. Eric Jones, Harvick, Jimmy Johnson. I think we're back to 3 wide, but we have to ride the wall. So back to 3 wide. Truex helps us out. We can get down to the middle lane. Kevin Harvick fills the bottom, and throw a blanket over the top 12. Everyone is pushing hard with a handful of laps to go. This is where the intensity really picks up. Larson going for that inside. Brandon blocking Eric Jones down to the bottom. And it is an all-out brawl. Eric Jones looks to the top. We'll fill that spot. We'll go right along the inside and pick up Brandon here. Eric Jones fights back on the high line. We're getting a pull. There comes Brandon down to help. He is getting a pull from Jimmy Johnson. And we've got that lead pack right in front of us, led by Michael McDowell, fighting hard against guys like Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, and Kyle Busch. Looks like Kurt Busch will take the lead with help from Joey Logano. Both of those guys winless this year. And unless myself and Brandon can link up here and catch these guys, it'll be a race decided amongst them. I'll give Brandon the bumper here in a straight line, see if he can pull up to Jimmy Johnson a bit. I don't know if the pit crews have fixed our damage. Brandon got that heavy right side damage. We got that damage leaving pit road thanks to Clint Boyer. So I don't know if we are in the 100% perfect cars, but lap traffic may be a thing. A car out there by itself going into turn 1 right now, right in front of all of these leaders. This may be a chance to pick the right lane that isn't going to get bogged down. Chris Buescher in the middle. Oh, Jimmy Johnson looks to the inside, gathers it back up. Oh, and a spin down the inside. Jimmy Johnson, no yellow. The caution will not fly. There is no yellow. Jimmy Johnson taken out of it with just a few laps to go, making the hard charge under Brad Keselowski. Brandon getting the pull from Kyle Busch, and that basically disintegrated our big pack here. We're going to have to stay single file as much as we can to see if we can get this pull. Martin Truex Jr. down there in the bottom to try to help us out. Brandon trying to stay right in the tire tracks of Kyle Busch, and Kyle Larson to his outside. Joey Logano to the inside of Kurt Busch to take the lead back. So we've got Logano, the Bushes, and I can't see who's on the outside. Larson with Brandon, myself, and Martin Truex Jr. fighting high with Brad Keselowski, and that is the group. So it is a 7-8 car battle for the lead coming down to it. But the leaders are holding fast there on the outside. We'll go up. Brad Keselowski puts his nose right on our outside fender to side draft. I'm staying with Brandon as close as possible, really laying into him, trying to get him up to Martin Truex Jr. so we can have a shot at it. But as long as this gap remains, we won't. Kurt Busch looking for the lead against Joey Logano. That lead changes hands. Coming off the corner, let's see if we can get into the bumper just a little bit. We are at full throttle and not holding back. There's a little bit of a push, but I don't think it really amounted much to anything. We need those guys in front of us to really get sideways, racing each other hard side by side, which they kind of are, but they are gapping us a bit. White flag is in the air, one more lap to go. Kurt Busch holding off Kyle Larson. Now Larson doesn't need to win. He has so many points ahead of everyone. He could wreck the next 2 times and still be sitting right behind the winner. So, you know, this is mainly a bigger battle for the bushes, for Truex. Down the back straightaway, Brad is not giving us any pushing help. He is staying in line. We're going to give Brandon just a little bit of a shot to try to get up front, to get any semblance of speed. But we are going to run out of time looking off turn 4. That whole pack of cars, and then Kurt Busch will get his first win of the year. Good job, Kurt, pulling one home for Team Chevy. And Chip Ganassi Racing in that number 1. He's been running really well this whole year. It was only a matter of time. But let's take a look at the top 10, as it were. So Kurt Busch will be your winner. And Martin Truex Jr. in second, Kyle Larson in third, fourth, Joey Logano, fifth, Kyle Busch, sixth, Brandon, myself, seventh, Brad Keselowski, eighth, ninth place will go to Kevin Harvick, and look who finished in the top 10, Mr. Recky Spinhouse Jr. Speaking of which, we do have a few crashes to look at here. One coming off of this turn here. And I know Ryan Blaney was involved. He was the one that got spun in front of me. Let's see what happens here. So it was 2 crashes, actually. So Recky Spinhouse Jr. having himself a typical Daytona night race. Oops, wrong button. Having himself a typical Daytona night race. No, he didn't come down. So he gathered it up right here. So it looked like he was pushing Brad Keselowski. He gets right there in the middle, 4 wide with Martin Truex Jr. and Brad. That turns Truex into Brad, and both of them get up in the wall. And I think that chain reaction forced Daniel Suarez. Now, they were already 4 wide behind here. So Daniel Suarez is back there. And Suarez is looking 4 wide, gets spun by the 38 here into the 12, pushed right along. There we go, and that just clogs up the entire track. There's Hamlin involved. The 43 gets a little bit of damage, pushes Brandon around. And looking at the crash from our perspective, it looks like we just sort of got pushed away from the wreck. There we were, there was the crash. And Brandon might have got into us just a little bit, but the track was closing up lightning quick and nowhere to go. And yeah, we just spun down through the grass backwards. Didn't get a whole lot of damage here. Gathered it back up and got back on the track. How did Brandon fare in that last wreck? There was Brandon there. So his pit crew did a pretty amazing job if that's the only damage he got. So he'll be coming down, gets into us a little bit, bounces off of Hamlin, and then gets sort of spun by the 34. He's backwards and just sort of hitting his corners, just bouncing off of the other cars. So there was the damage on the side of Brandon's car, and I didn't see that when we went back racing, so pretty good job on that pit crew. Let's see, did anyone not get away? No, everyone else pretty much driven away, but Hamlin, the 38, the 41, all with heavy damage. Chase Elliott with a bit, the 33 and the 34. We saw the 13 continue. So now, let's look out for Recky Spinhouse Jr. who got into the 32 and then into the 00. So there goes Recky right there. Gets into the 00, pushes the 32 down. They both gather it back up. Then he turns the 00, pushes Landon Castle away, and he just drives away scot-free. There goes the 32 up and over. I tell you, that was certainly a move from Ricky Spinhouse Jr. And that was vicious. A lot of cars got caught up in that one. So here comes the 32 back on track. Spinhouse spins the 00 again. We drive away, and then bam, Ryan Blaney hard into the door. Here comes Brandon looking right through the middle, driving through expertly to avoid the crash, but the 00 with heavy damage, Byron with heavy damage, and the 32 with heavy damage. And if you've got a sick stomach, hold on to your britches, because I want to see what this looked like from his cockpit. So helmet cam of the 32, down to the inside, taps the 17. Here comes Blaney in the mirror, and over. Over and over and over and over and over and over. Holy crap. What a crash. Let's take a look at the standings as they are now. You can see Kurt Busch in 6th place now, passing Ryan Blaney. Kyle Larson 2 full races ahead of 9th, or the cutoff, but it's a little bit closer. Looking from 12th all the way down to 20th. I mean, one race could shake it up, and we head to Kentucky Speedway next. Not a great track for myself and Brandon, so that may be interesting, maybe another first-time winner, but tune in next week to see. That will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you for the next NASCAR Racing 2003 season video. Take care.